What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another video. Ultimately, you don't know a person's body count. Yeah, yo. And there was a couple videos I saw from that YouTube page, The Cut. You know how they always say, rate people, try to guess something and all that stuff. And I thought about that. I saw a couple. One, they had some guys trying to guess a woman's body count, young girl's body count, and then some women trying to guess a man's body count. And I got links for both of them in the description box. And before I even get started, I know big news is about that whole thing with Michael B. Jordan. People be like, hey, what you think about it? And they notice their comments ain't there. One, I don't really get into celebrity shit. And then on a personal level, I can't relate. Because one, coming up, I ain't have girls calling me corny or any of that. I was just me. And I'm a self-admitted nerd and shit. And whenever a woman, I had some women call me like, oh, you're corny or you're weird or something like that, right? They always did it with a smile. And let's just say certain parts of my anatomy reach certain of the back of their throat. So it's like, shit, yeah, I can be corny, yeah. Spreading your legs, shit. In other words, I ain't give a fuck. So anyway, back to the main thing. Yeah, I was checking that thing out. Because you know, body count's a major thing. Body count is major. I mean, people lose their damn minds over a body count. Right? They lose their damn minds. You got dudes try to break the shit down scientifically. Well, she has a high body count and stuff. She can't bond with a man. Dude, first of all, my cousin Tito, shout him out. He pointed this shit out. He said sex is like a handshake for many women. Sex is like a handshake. A lot of times women, they ain't necessarily bonded to a man if they had sex with them. Seriously, just on a general thing. And people talk about their DNA or something. That's assuming the women had unprotected sex all the time. You know? Shit. If women bonded that easily by DNA, there's a lot of dudes wouldn't be complaining, would they? In fact, I want y'all to think about something. If women bonded by their DNA to some guy, and everybody always trying to talk that, they would probably pretty much marry the first guy to get with. Wouldn't they be bonded? Anyway, all the way women bond is emotionally. But here's the thing with it. Because people argue it all the time, and let's just keep it a buck. Dudes just don't want to. Dudes worried about a woman's body count because they feel like they can't satisfy that woman. Shit. You get some motherfucker, you know he got to work his shit. He don't give a fuck who she been with. He said, well, I'm gonna turn the bitch out. I'm just gonna be real. Hell, I've dealt with some women, they had decent body counts, a little bit high. They were all on my tip because, well, I made them holler. And I knew what they wanted because, shoot, they were into me more than I was into them. So, whatever, okay? Anyway, whatever the case, though, right? Just in general, just period. Just period and whatnot. You never know what a person's body count is. Because, okay, check out the videos I share, right? And they had to guess. Like with the woman one. Now, one of the women had 0. Her body count was 0. The other woman, her body count was 300. Yet, if you were to just see them and you didn't know what their counts were, you would probably assume the little cutie, looking all fine and shit, nice little body, breasts is poking out, fixed up, be the one with 300, while the overweight plain Jane would be at 0. No, because it was like out of the 6 women, the overweight plain Jane had 300. Mostly men. She said mostly men, right? Mostly men. And then the next one, who was actually there pregnant, had 3 baby daddies. Her number was 70. It was like, you know, And she about to pop out 4 and 5, kids number 4 and 5. They were the plainest. The cutest one had 0, well, technical 0. She said she kind of suggested she did other things. And you do, just as an aside, you do get some technical virgins out there. So for y'all fellas think you get a virgin, maybe. Because you get a lot of women out there, they'll tell you they're a virgin, a doctor could examine them, and they're not. Also, you do got that surgery, I forgot what it's called officially, where a woman's hymen can be fixed. In fact, many cultures, they had some tricks for that shit, so you just never know. You just never know. But I thought about that, I watched that, I was like, And actually, I could go deeper and break down why, personally, I probably would have picked that woman. And it's not for reasons people think. Anybody who knows me know I can get deeper into really deep into a woman's sexual nature, but that's not my free game. And in fact, I'm gonna have a Rom TV series coming up where I really get into that starting next week. Sexual personality types. I took one look at her, I would say, okay, she's receptive. And that's really all it was, just figuring out who's receptive and who's not. Like, if I look at that thing, I would say, okay, yeah, from what I know, I would have picked her. I say, okay, she probably has a higher count than people would think because, well, certain indicators, certain tells. I'll put it like that, certain tells. Meanwhile, the baddest one, I say, nah, I wouldn't assume that she ain't been with nobody, but I say her count's probably low. Because, contrary to popular belief, some of these baddies out here don't be getting down like that. Because, well, let me go on a quick tangent. Let me go on a very important tangent. How is it if 80% of the women are going for 20% of the men, right? How can they have a high count when there's not enough of the 20% to go around? And especially since some of the 20%, they ain't trying to be players like that. They, like, if you in the 20%, wouldn't you get just a baddie and just be done with it? Like, seriously, like if you're in the 20%, you automatically gonna go for the baddest women. And if you're smart, you're gonna keep her. Now you might or might not cheat, but even then, you're gonna just go for another baddie. Which means, okay, how's all of these women coming with a high count? Because all of them ain't getting with Chad and Tyrone. Because Chad and Tyrone kind of picky. Just something for y'all to think about. But anyway, getting back to that thing, I wasn't even surprised, like that surprised. But I know plenty of guys would be. Plenty of guys would be. And they had a range. But of course, you know, for some guys, 3 is a high count. Like, let me address that. I actually got a video coming next week where I talk about that a little bit. If a woman, only way you're going to get like a woman just with a low count, either she got an extremely low sex drive, which a guy you still want to have sex with, unless you don't want to have sex either. Hey, you're good to go. Or she's very young, which means a 15-year-old can get with her, and she's probably 15. And even then, could be a technical virgin. Oh man. But that was interesting. That was really interesting because I know it would mess with some people's heads because they just couldn't read it. Like there was one dude supposedly a player reading them, and I'm like, come on, dude, you ain't no player. You couldn't read them like that, or at least with a bit more accuracy. And I would say of the 3 most attractive of them, it was like one had 0, the one who could arguably be considered the next best attractive of the women had 2. And then the next best had 16. Now you could say, okay, that's high, something, yeah, whatever. But, it's just a reality out here. Because ultimately you can't tell. Like you can make a general assumption at best, maybe a guess, but, and really that comes down to one simple thing with a woman's sexual nature. Is she receptive? Because a woman could be very physically attractive, but she is not receptive, or a word guys would understand better, cooperative. A lot of women aren't, they just ain't receptive. I mean, that's all to it. Ain't no like magic or anything to it. They simply are not receptive. And that's how you can get a general idea. Like if I want an idea, best way I would say get an idea about how a woman rolls, I have to be in some type of situation where I can watch how she interacts with men and who she interacts with and how receptive she is. In fact, those who talk about game, the reality is a woman got to be receptive to game. So, and that was, that was that. And I know, like I said, check it out for yourselves. And like I said, even when it says 0, that was just technical. But, and I'm going to get into like the whole bottom line about that whole body count thing, really. But then I watched the men's one. Now, you got guys on here that say, oh, yeah, you have to have this square jaw and everything. You have to be this height. Now, the guy with the heterosexual guy with the largest count was 33. Because he had this one guy, I mean, dude was gay. He had 200 and stuff, going to sex parties and shit. I guess so. That's one thing I noticed interesting. Whenever they do those body count things with the men, it's usually the guy. It's usually the guy who's gay who got like that ridiculous count. It was like, okay, my focus is on heterosexual relationships, and a lot of guys don't really be getting it like that, And I know some guys say, well, Chad and Tyrone would. No, like I said, usually guys on that level, they can. But a lot of guys on that level, they just once they get that one baddie, since a lot of women ain't baddies, they usually chill. Shit, I told you. In fact, this dude, I actually did a video for him one time. I used to work with him, looked like a taller version of Zac Efron. He hadn't been with that man, and he's good with it. A couple dudes I know. Because they just get a baddie and they just chill. Because y'all gonna tell me you get a beauty. Hey, look, hold up. Because I know some dudes say, well, he was pumping up. You projecting something. If you a dude, man, right? You get a woman. She got a beautiful face. Like, you could say she's in the 8 to 10 range. Very attractive. Beautiful face. Killer body. Got all that stuff that you like. Got the breasts, hips, big old booty. You just gonna pump and dump? Come on now. Anybody say that, they don't really pump and dump. You gonna hold it on. Especially if she put you in la clinch. She go clink on you. You going to say, oh, you ain't going back for more? Shit. In fact, let me hit y'all with something. That's how I'm gonna give y'all something, and I'm gonna see how soon it is before somebody try to run that on me. Like, cause I get some guys in the comments be trying to get some stuff, and I can already read by what they say, what they really do, and indeed I could probably ask a few questions. I'm gonna just throw something out there, dude. If you get a woman, right, she fine, and she put the clench on you, she may got you going, oh, you gonna want some more, right? But here's the reverse. If your shit any good, she gonna come back. Seriously, if you got some good shit, now if you pumping and dumping and the woman just roll on, it's like you don't got no good dick. But you got that woman hollering, shit, you might not get rid of her. She be driving past your house at 1 a.m. and see if your lights on. Be calling you, say, well, baby, I'm in the neighborhood. Be like, what? Be knocking on your door or something. Be stalking your ass. You should be outside your house and shit. She park a car somewhere, be laying low. No, she park a buddy's car or something. Be low, waiting to see what you doing. Shoot. You put that thing on the woman, shoot, you can't get rid of her. You be trying and shit. You gotta change your number. You gotta block her on your phone. So some dudes be saying some stuff. I already know. If the woman don't want repeat business, shit wasn't any good. So don't try to lie to a brother out here. But anyway, yeah, when they were doing the man's thing, I was like, well, hold up, the dude, like you had the gay dude, so we don't count him. He got with 200. The next highest number was 33. It was by this big dude who was shy, and he didn't have a square jaw. You know, and he could stand to do the body game thing. But he said 33. Now, I know some dudes would be like, well, he was tall. Yeah, and I know the general wisdom is they don't, some women don't like it, but understand something, depending on who he mess with. A lot of women like that big dude, roughneck looking dude. You know? And they said one guy, they kept giving him a count, but he was actually a virgin. You know? Another guy they said was a virgin, he at least had 3. Then the guy they were like, oh, he the finest, and what the Asian guy, who they would probably call, well, they wouldn't call him Chad or Tyrone, call him a Chang. He only had 8. I'm just saying. Like, you can never know. Because I'm going to tell you what, with sex, first of all, you don't know who somebody dealing with. You don't know who their environment is. Anything. You can't look at somebody. Ain't no, like, scientific method that you can use. You can't. People try, but you never know. There's so many factors, because it depends. Yeah, it does depend on, like, how you perceive physically. Can you turn on a woman sexually? But then where are you at? What's your environment? Do you have a good conversation? You in a position to actually get with a woman? You know? So you can't really look. You can't tell with anybody. Like any man, that's why I've said several times, at the end of the day, it's stupid for a man to ask another man anything. It's stupid as far as how they look and everything. You know? Like men be asking or rate their face and shit. Yeah, dude, you're not fucking the man. I hope you're not. If you're not, this ain't the channel for you, man. Hey, don't try to cancel me out. I'm just saying. We deal with heterosexual relationships here. So, oh, shoot. Oh, that's right. Everybody going to cult. Yeah, but this ain't the channel for all of that. You know? This is not the channel. So that's the important thing right there. Always the most important thing to understand is, hold on, let me get this corner. You know, so that's stupid. You can't tell. Ultimately. Because even for what I talk about, I don't base that off of what somebody like or look like ultimately. I never do. I just base it off of who I know and generally what they were presenting. And even then, you can't know. Because I know one of the biggest players I know. One of the biggest players I know. Dude, 5'8", been chubby all his life. Never in his once let the barber. He let the barber do a basic thing on him. He violated half the rules, I'd like to say. Shit, actually violated most of them. But that dude had women camping out in front of him. Camping out, chasing him down and shit. Handing him the poop. So you never ultimately know. But I gotta get my clothes out of the cleaners real quick. I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, y'all. I got my shirts, everything. Gotta be clean. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I can't really see them from back here. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell y'all something now, man. At the end of the day, and it's something Malcolm X said in his autobiography. Ultimately, you're talking about body count. If you ask a woman what her body count is, she's either going to tell you the truth or she's going to lie to you. You ain't going to like it. You ain't going to like it. My thing is, I've never given a fuck. I lost count how many women who told me one number, then when they realized I ain't really give a shit, that number increased. In fact, one of the most honest was this Japanese woman. For all y'all passport brothers, trust me on this. They be getting down. They be getting down. Because I don't go to an Asian country and talk about, hey, I mean, that's stereotypical, but don't be thinking, oh, everybody gonna be all traditional. Whatever. Anyway, that was this Japanese woman. I actually asked her, because her shit was just so good. I was like, damn, how many guys she been with? She was like more than 10. Okay. That shit was good as shit. Shit. My thing is, they got a good body count. I expect the sex to be the bomb. That shit better be good. I mean, I'd be disappointed. That woman got a high body count, had sex with her, and the shit is like lousy. I was like, God damn, what were you doing? Shit. But I'm gonna tell you what. Here's the thing. Ultimately, you can't worry about it because you never truly know. No matter what she tell you, right? You don't know. Because what women do, they know how guys feel, so they'll spare the guy. But, in fact, women lie a lot when it comes to body count, how much they were pleasured, but that's why they cheating and shit. If you want to know what's up, you need to encourage the honesty in the woman. If she been with so many men, okay. What was the situation? How old is she? What was it? See what's up. Don't be caught up in some bullshit. Oh, she can't bond or anything. Bonding is emotional anyway. Bonding is emotional. Don't got nothing to do with your damn genitals. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck what any scientist said or what somebody supposedly said. Probably somebody else. They be a lot of shit people say and they try to justify it, but from personal experience and just knowing and stuff, it's more emotional. And I said that before. Only man you should be concerned about in her past is the one she's emotionally thinking. Not even her imprint. Dudes be adding some shit. Nah, whoever got her to her heart. Because, like I said, to quote Cousin Tito once again, many women treat sex like a handshake. It ain't a big deal for them. And in fact, a lot of times when women dealing with the guy, especially, they just try and get money, that woman ain't really there with you anyway. A lot of women got that attitude, let him do his business. Only time you should be, like I said, just worry about that ghost that got to her emotionally. That's it. That's all that matters. Emotionally. And the reason I said that is if she ain't over him, now that could be a problem. And that's if you even trying to get serious. But, so many guys talking about they player, so why are you worried about her bond? Shouldn't that make it easier? And I'm talking about this because too many guys caught up in it, but come on now. I call bullshit. They try to act like it's about the woman. No. It's about their own insecurity. I ain't insecure about, I got zero insecurity about whatever man some woman's been with. I don't give a flying fuck because I know what I can do. My attitude is my shit gonna be better. If not her best, it's gonna be in her top 3. That's always been my attitude. I don't worry about some of this other shit. Because if you worried about, here's the thing, and that's a lesson from that video from The Cut. That's a lesson. You'd never know anyway. Because I guarantee that big girl, I guarantee some guy, and she even said she hope her boyfriend don't see that. She really liked him. But the fact of the matter is, you just never know. You never know. And that's a global thing. Let me just say that. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. That's a global thing. A lot of guys be trying to act, they worried about satisfying the woman and all that shit. And worried about some other guy turning her out. Hey, some other guy probably did. You turn her out. Seriously. You worry about you turning her out. And I'm going to be real. If you got issues like that, some insecurities like that, you need to deal with them. Don't put that on the woman. Seriously, don't put that on the woman. Because then that's how some guys get played. Because a woman will recognize that shit and play you like a fiddle. Act like little Miss Goody Two-Shoes. Being like, shit. Hell. Like, I'm be real with you. One of the things with my childhood, but it's been around a whole bunch of those types of women, man. Like, some real sex worker types, sugar baby types, all of them. Just like, whatever. Get your money. My grandfather, shit. He had so many women coming in and out. I just got used to saying ma'am. And he might have been a pimp. when I look back at it, he might have been pimping. I know he's a numbers runner. Man, it's like whatever, it's life, man. You know? Like you deal with a woman, for the fellas, you deal with a woman, all you need to worry about how she treating you right now. How she treating you right now. In fact, I talked about that whole, because I know a lot of guys, they still want that woman ain't been around and all that, but that can still be a problem. I talked about that on my Patreon. I said low libido versus reluctance to have sex after a certain time, or stop having sex. I forgot the exact title. Because I said some women, yeah, they might be all innocent and shit, but they got low libido, which means, yeah, they don't got a high count, but you get with them, you still gonna be a virgin. Shit. And then you got some, they use that game and they'll tell you whatever you want to hear till they get what they want. You get a lot of women, shoot, they'll get married, have that baby, stop having sex with their husband. Because there's a whole lot of sexless marriages. So, you know, there's so much there, but you need to just worry about yourself. And, you know, you can't be insecure about your shit, no matter what. Because, indeed, I get a lot of dudes hit me up privately, talking about the damn dicks and shit. Talking about they think, well, I'm small. Yeah, learn how to use a motherfucker. Because I remember I said one time, man, I told, because you remember I said a couple times, man, you arouse a woman enough, she'll clench literally your pinky, right? Literally. And some guy said something. It's like, dude, first of all, man, if you don't know shit, don't got no experience, don't say shit to me. I don't have patience for it. Motherfuckers don't have no experience, virgins, or the only woman they might have got with, they had to pay for some cheap ass hoes from somewhere. It was like $20 hoes or something. You can't tell me shit though. Seriously, I don't have patience for that. Because if you know how to arouse a woman, her G-spot is only an inch in. You can stick the head in. And the average woman's vagina is only 4 inches. Now, if you got something smaller than that shit, even then, you stop moving her around and shit, figure out what else you can do. But most people got average size to deal with most women. And the size queens, please, even them, really. Even them, you arouse them enough, that vagina like go clink, shit. But whatever the case, you can't worry about it, because see, here's what it comes down to. You need to be in the present with the woman. How is she treating you? Not even about sex or all that other shit. How is she treating you? Is she supporting your business? Is she supporting you? She got your back? Seriously, how is she treating you? And I'm gonna tell you something else. This player said this shit. This dude, he said he had a count of 800, and just knowing him and watch how women responded to him. And this was 20 years ago or so. He probably over 1,000 by now. And shit, and it's good reason. Just watching how the women responded to him. Like they picked it out. Several women say, yeah, he probably did, but. He said if he had a choice between a woman with a count of 30 and a woman with a count of 2, he'd take the one with 30. Now, I know a lot of guys would disagree with that, but you got a player who's saying that. He had a very good reason, too. He said that woman who's been with 30, she been there, done that, she going to appreciate a good man. The one with the count of 2, she's always going to wonder, is there better? So sometimes even in a situation, you think you doing something. Because I actually know of some situations like that. Some guys got with virgins and stuff and end up getting divorced or stayed in a sexless marriage because the woman wasn't satisfied. They say, hey, what else is out there? So it's never, whatever the case, you can't get paid. You got to just say, okay, how's she treating me? Is she good? If she's being destructive, like, don't be like going in. See, here's the bottom line. Don't think you don't know what's going to happen till you deal with it. Because you got some people say, well, they got this study. Get your ass out in the streets. All you know is, how's this woman treating you? Does she got your back? Will she do the things you need her to do? Is she following your lead? Always ask yourself that. What is she bringing to the table? That's all you need to pay attention to. Whether she a virgin, whether her count is 1, whether her count is 100. That's all that counts. That's all that counts. Because like I said, even if she got a low count, if you ain't satisfying her, if you not satisfying her, she might always be like, well, you know what? Let me go get this other. Let me step out. All of a sudden, that other dude start looking good to her because she always gonna wonder what's out there. So no matter what, there can be an issue. All you can worry about being the present. Know you present your best, but then see what's, is she satisfying you on multiple levels, not just in the bedroom, but is she gonna be your friend? She's supportive. Is she gonna do this and that? Because I know some women, they actually got legitimately high counts. Couple of the sweetest women I've known. A couple of them still real cool with one. But she's actually one of the sweetest people. Like legitimately nice. So it's like, just be realistic about it. Don't be tripping over it. Seriously, too many guys getting crazy over it. It's like, and let's look at it something else. And like I said, don't think you're going to go someplace else. Shit, they're more open about sex in other countries. People talking about going to Asia, shit. It's like casual shit for them. Shit, it's like casual. They ain't tripping over it as much as we think they are. So it's just like, look, be your best and then just deal with the woman as she comes and see what's up. All right. So, anyway, I don't got much more to add to this. And I know some people, they still want to disagree and all of that. Okay, do what you want, but I'll say it like this. With the perspective I have, I'm not sitting up here tripping. I ain't sitting up here tripping or insecure or coming up with all this shit. Knowing you want the woman. Shit. Knowing you want sex. Because you gotta be some grown ass men out this motherfucker, man. You gotta be some grown ass men. It's like people getting down out here. Just deal with it. People getting down. And, this is an adult thing. So, I mean, that's all you can really do at the end of the day. Wait a minute. I always say I'm going to end this something and then I go a little bit further. But, just look, you can't worry about it. You can't sit and worry about it ultimately, man. Because especially if you don't know the person, you got to get to know the woman and see what's up with her. Yeah, she could be bad. Okay, get to know her. Find out if she is bad. And then go accordingly. I've seen too much. Like I said, I said a couple women I know, but I'm acquainted with some other women. Shit. Once they've been with some guys and they cool down. Some women who supposedly like low count and shit. Be some straight bitches. Seriously. So my point is, take them individually. Don't trip. Don't have any bias or anything. Just the only thing that matters is how they treat you. That's all that matters. Everything else is bullshit. And if somebody tell you otherwise, ask them how that shit working for them. So, anyway, that's all I got for today, yo. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.